Katoa. Hello, I'm Susan Cooney, for those who don't know me, a business success partner with Thexton, Cowan Consulting, and we work with businesses to help bridge the gap between business goals and the realities of business. And I'm passionate about business and helping my clients achieve their dreams. I wanted to share with you today the similarities that I see in rugby and business. When I first started preparing for this, I got more excited because I could see the comparisons of the strategies between business and the strategies of rugby. But first I want to take a look at some business stats and why businesses fail to thrive, and through the process learn how we can use rugby training and coaching to be a more successful business. There are over 400 small to medium businesses in New Zealand, and 95% of these businesses are startups and have fewer than 5 employees. 93% of all business closures are also businesses with fewer than 5 employees. And according to the Small Business Administration, over 50% of small businesses fail in the first 5 years. So what do we do about that? Okay. Oh. So why do businesses fail to thrive? Not having a big enough reason why the business exists. The business has to exist to provide the lifestyle that you want. Lack of vision, commitment, and organized strategy. In essence, a business plan. And that can take all many different shapes and forms. Lack of leadership skills. Here we go. Lack of investment capital or financial knowledge. Lack of systematic marketing, strategy, or ineffective marketing. Not having enough specific policies in place that define the business and the employee behavior. Doing everything off the cuff without any procedures. Not understanding how the legislation and ethics affect policies and procedures. No consistency in image and branding or communication. Possibly a poor business location, depending on what type of business that you have. Not enough of the correct social media or web presence, especially in this day and age. The business not being physically fit. So today, the goal is to talk about these aspects of rugby and how they relate to business, and ultimately how to train like a business athlete, and so that your business is match fit. I watched the All Blacks versus Samoa on Saturday. We had recorded it. And I felt such an intense pride, not an original Kiwi, but a Kaniwi. And actually most of the feelings listed on this page I felt as I was watching it. And I could see all the different strategies that they were using. And it was just very, very cool. So we're going to go through each of these. Ask any rugby player what they think about rugby, and somewhere along the line of their explanation, they'll probably talk about how much they love the game. That's because rugby is not a game to be taken lightly. Rugby is something you need to be fired up about to play to the best of your ability. So I'm going to ask you a question. Why are you in business? You were possibly an employee for a long time, and you felt you had a better way to have a better life for your family, to make more money because you love it, because that's what you're passionate about. Simon Sinek says that it all starts with clarity. If a leader of an organization cannot clearly articulate why they are in business, or why it exists beyond the products and services, then how does he or she expect his or her employees to know why to come to work? The clarity needs to happen first. You have to know why you do what you do, and then be able to express it and get others on board. Everyone is useful somewhere. Anyone and everyone has a position in rugby, and they're best suited for, and everyone can be helpful to the overall team game. And you see that when the game's played. They all depend on each other. Each position comes with different physical requirements, and each is important to the team. The same goes for business. the person who answers the phone. I'm looking at Darrell right now, and the one who greets the customer when they come in the door, the one who processes the order, does the work, whether it be an IT, fix the transmission, unplug the leak, give them an eye exam. Everyone is useful somewhere in the business. There are unwritten rules in the game of rugby, and respect is definitely one of those unwritten rules. Nobody wants to be associated with a bad guy that nobody has respect for. Even if their game is great on the field, the way they carry themselves will have a greater impact on people. If you carry yourself like a professional on and off the field, you will have the respect of your fellow ruggers. Developing trust among team members is at once difficult and essential to becoming a high-performance team. Team members need to be taught from the start that building trust with themselves and customers is critically important to the business's ultimate success. I laugh when I see this picture of the megaphone because we all have known bosses that have treated their staff like that. Rugby is a sport that requires players to study the game with many rules and complex tactics that will challenge you not just physically, but mentally. Skills fitness. Whatever you need to do it accurately. Whether it's pass the ball to each other or kick it between the posts. The 18th man, I think I went too fast. Sorry about that. The 18th man is extremely important because they're trained in other positions so they can sub when necessary. Cross-training in business is crucial as well. Think through what would happen if a key member of your staff had to be off work for a long period of time. Or if they quit and didn't give you notice. What would happen if something happened to you? So how do you ensure that the business continues to function? Important to have systems and documentation in place to do that. Now, growth as a team. If you come up to a better team, you may not win. But what learning has been acquired? How did you improve? Did you make more plays? Did you ground the ball more often? Did you work better as a team? Did you evaluate and test and measure? A key to growth is people changing. The coach is an agent of change. And progress doesn't occur without change. I'm going to bring in Jimmy Johnson. He's actually a coach of the Dallas Cowboys, but don't tell anybody. He stated, bring in people who are committed to be the best. Eliminate the people who are not committed to being the best. And most importantly, create an atmosphere that they can achieve their goals and the goals we set as a team. And he wanted to put them in the right environment and delegate responsibly so they could be the best they could be. Being in business is not for the faint-hearted, am I right? Hugely important to have the vision, plan, and target, but to get to the finish line, you have to be willing to do whatever it takes. So what does that mean? It's owning your commitment and being accountable for your actions to yourself and the others to get the job done. How determined are you to step outside your comfort zone, follow up, and follow through? If you make a mistake, it's okay. Man up, or in my case, woman up, to them, learn from them, and make better choices. Your team will not think less of you. They will actually think more of you if you do that. So that's what it means to do whatever it takes. A woman looking to pursue a career in rugby definitely has an opportunity to take her career pretty far. And for those women looking to break the glass ceiling, there's nothing better to prove your toughness compared to men than playing the toughest sport in the world. I know a lot of women in business, and I'm looking at a few in here right now, in town, and they're focused, determined to do whatever it takes, and have a great passion for what they do. I'm amazed how they balance work, relationships, kids, and still manage to have time for themselves. One of them is Angeline Lewers. She and her mum Natalie own Petrus Raw Cakes. Over the past year, I've seen her struggle, grapple challenges, grow, and take ownership of her amazing business. Rugby is a sport for everyone. Even within a single team, you can find a huge mix of ages, heights, and weights. In no other sport in the world can you find such a ragtag mix of players who all seem to gel so well together. So what happens if a player drops the ball? As a team, you pick it up and carry on. And during the match, the other team members do not belittle or disrespect the other player. A scrum is a terrific model of inclusiveness. It took me a while before I understood what happened in a scrum, but where the whole team tries to go the distance as a unit, passing the ball back and forth. Celebrate failures because you've learned something in the process. It's only a failure when you don't use the learning. When a coach debriefs after the game, he'll talk about the plays, how a player or players performed, what could be improved, what went really well, a strategy of what to work on at the next practice, and set new targets. No matter what type of business that you're in, retail, trade, childcare, or service, you can enjoy and get excitement about what you do. So how do you keep score? You take a look at your annual goals, your weekly and monthly objectives, your daily task list too. What percent is focused on individual achievement? What percent is focused on group or business achievement? And ensure that the goals and objectives on every level reflect broader goals where people will change, grow, and achieve success. In turn, the business will achieve success. I love celebrating with my clients, like Peter and Wendy of North City Caravans when they won at the Business Awards last year. They're a fantastic example of using match-fit strategies to grow their business. So how fit is your business? Now it's time to plan, prepare, practice, and perform. The rugby coach lays out the game plan. He or she has thought long and hard about it, worked out various plays and outcomes, then determined which is best based on the competition. It doesn't mean you plan based on how well your competition plays. It means that you're aware of how they play, then utilize the strengths and uniqueness of your team to gain advantage. In business, analyze what could go wrong and how you could prevent or lessen the outcome of the problem. Instead of being reactionary, you're prepared for various outcomes. In essence, determine the strategies for your business growth. Planning. You know what? Passion's not enough. Passion may bring in some business, but it's not guaranteed to bring in business all the time. Along with passion, you need structure. So how do you come up with structure? Say the Lions can come from up to 4 nations. This year they're from Britain and Ireland. They've never played as a unit before, and therefore their moves have not been perfected and not known by other teams like the All Blacks. The All Blacks at this do not know how to deal with, to prepare or counter. And that's similar to where we are in business sometimes. If I were to ask you a question, when you get a new customer or client, how do you deal with that person? What systems or communication do you need? Do you use a database to record client detail? When you hire a new staff, how do you train that new staff to deal with new business? It's no different than asking a coach, how do you train a new player? You go through a whole regime of learning all the different plays and positions and finding out what's best for them. I was ahead of myself. A business plan can be as simple as a timeline with objectives or as complex as a 70-page document. It's a living organism that grows and evolves as the business grows and evolves. It should be used to ensure that all future projects and growth are in alignment of the owner's original vision. But the most important thing is that you use it. It doesn't sit on a shelf and never get looked at. Policies and procedures are a set of documents that describe the organization's policies for operation and the procedures necessary to fulfill those policies. They're used for definition and consistency, continuous improvement, compliance, employee morale, legal issues, communication, and transparency. They need to be accessible, and that's for every employee at any time in a language that's understood. They need to be appropriate, which is unique to that particular business. Acceptable, fair to all with no discrimination. Applied, used consistently. This enables the business to operate on local, regional, and federal laws. Steve Hansen says selection and preparation are keys. I liken that to selecting the right policies and procedures, the right employees, the right culture, and being intentional to implement all of these. Now from there we get systems and processes. And they're a set of rules or instructions that are documented to ensure that the same processes are used continuously to deliver quality and control to the production of the management process. They're extremely useful as employees do not then have to continuously think of a series of tasks every time that they do them. They are a proven best way to do a job or a task. I keep forgetting to do that. They're an important part of training an existing or a new employee, and they cut down on errors and can improve quality in all areas of the business. The most important thing, like your business plan, is that they're in use. And you can prepare to be the busiest, best business you can be to win the way you want. Okay. A player attempting to score a conversion will focus on the black dot between the goalposts. In an interview, Steve Hansen said it was important to write goals down and share them, because if you voice it, you own it. They should be realistic and attainable. They should improve an organization morally and monetarily. Increasing your employees' goal difficulty increases their challenges. Did I get there? And enhances the amount of effort expended to achieve them. The more difficult goals lead to increased performance if they're feasible. If they seem too high, employees will give up when they fail to achieve them. When given specific goals, employees tend to perform higher. Telling them just to do their best and giving no guidance really doesn't do, it just creates ambiguity about what is expected. Employees need to set a goal or model in order to display the correct behavior. Providing feedback enhances the effects of goal setting. Performance feedback helps keep their behavior directed on the right target, encourages them to work harder and to achieve the goal. Employees who participate in the process generally set higher goals than if goals were set for them. It also affects their belief that the goals are attainable and increases their motivation to achieve them. And all team members should be involved in the process. Who can tell me the difference between training and coaching?
Direction versus...
Pardon?
Practice versus direction.
That's part of it. Yep.
Learning. That's learning on the way.
Yes. Training is a structured lesson designed to provide the employee with the knowledge and skills to perform a task. Coaching, on the other hand, is a process designed to help the employee gain greater confidence and competence, and to overcome barriers to improve job performance. Use one-to-ones effectively. If you don't know what that is, ask me after. A rugby coach is a rook, not a ruck, a rook, the specialist who can provide an external view on how the team performs. When he watches the game from above, he can see what's going on and how the players are playing. A business coach or a consultant fills that role in business. Training and coaching go hand in hand. First, you train them with lots of technical support, and then you coach them with motivational pointers. Both training and coaching help to create the conditions that cause someone to learn and develop. People learn by the examples of others, by forming a picture in their minds of what they're trying to learn, by gaining understanding and necessary information, by applying it to their job and practice. Coaching is more than telling people how to do something. It involves giving advice, skill building, creating challenges, removing performance barriers, building better processes, and learning through discovery. Oops. For you to be match fit, you need to have a good work-life balance. So how do you achieve that? Mark Schenker says it very well. Not working so hard that you end up hating your business. Taking care of your personal health and well-being. Making enough time for the activities in life that you really enjoy. Spending enough time with the people who are important to you. Achieving what you want to accomplish in your business without overdoing it. Some things to make it easier. It's about setting boundaries, becoming super productive through organization and time management, delegating. Be really clear with your employees about what their job expectations are and how you want them fulfilled. If you're a sole trader, there are programs and apps to automate your tasks, so you're not doing everything yourself. Prioritize. Be able to honestly and intelligently determine the tasks that demand your attention, the needs, sort of the urgent and important things, versus the tasks that are only desires or wants to do. And this will empower you to do the crucial tasks and get them done so you don't feel overwhelmed. Now, the last and the best one is minimize distractions. Text messages, emails, social media, smartphone notifications, and phone calls. When I'm doing client work, I have to shut down my email, turn my phone on silent, otherwise I don't spend that focused time doing that work. Mana is defined in English as authority, control, influence, prestige, or power, as well as honor. I see this in each of us, in rugby coaches, especially Steve Hansen. He believes in not only growing the person, but the team as a whole, in testing capabilities and striving to be the best. And I honor him because of that. For me, mana is carried through the haka and is evident in all who experience it. I can only imagine what it would be like to perform a haka. The strength, the power, the pride, the desire to be the best, the sense of unity and team spirit, as in we are invincible. It is my goal in this short time that you leave today feeling everything I just described about the haka, and utilizing tools and strategies, you feel empowered to do the haka for your business. Key part is anticipation. Anticipate, plan, prepare, perform, and welcome excellence. It seems like a very compressed period of time to try and get a lot of things out. Does anyone have any questions? No. I've got some New Zealand statistical documents over there, as well as 7 self-management strategies for rugby matches, which I think they're really cool, and they might be helpful in you moving forward. You're welcome to pick them up as you leave, and there's also some information about our consulting firm, and I welcome you to take that too, and if I can help in any way, please get in touch. We actually offer a complimentary business checkup that will help you determine if your business is match fit. I'm also holding a seminar on the 28th of July